Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys my personal cheat sheet on product review between the Hollister and the Convatec. So here in BC, Canada, they use Hollister at the hospitals, and I actually asked them why they don't have like a cheat sheet kind of thing, and they only carry so many products, and they can like they do the cut to fit so they can measure, and I mean it makes sense in a hospital so they can kind of like size it exactly to your shape and size, and then so I can kind of understand why they do that, but they could at least send you home with like a product information sheet so that you know what your options are when you get home, in my opinion. So here is a Hollister, cut to fit, and you can actually get pre-cut ones. But now if you look at, these are moldable ones that I found by Convatec, so you don't even have to cut them. And you can get these circles in all sorts of sizes. So you would just get the closest one. And this acts like a barrier ring. So if you've ever used the Hollister barrier ring, how you can stretch it to fit yours and like you can mold it to fit yours, that's what this wafer from Convatec does. So you don't need to use any scissors. And as long as you get like the closest proximity to yours, you'll just kind of learn how to pull it and put it on really quickly. And it also doubles because with these cut to fit ones, you end up molding this the way it works for you, and then you have to put this on too, right? And it can be pretty finicky when you're cutting them, right? So that it doesn't like cut into your stoma at all. This is like it's like there's 2 steps, 3 because you're cutting. And it's just this kind of finicky process when this is like does it all in one quick shot and you don't have to do anything. And I also like, just to make sure it's dry before I put it on, I just kind of use this as the fan. So I fan it just to make sure the skin's super dry. I haven't had any skin issues, but if I start to wonder if I'm getting a skin issue, I have used like the powder or the no sting spray. I personally kind of prefer the spray, but I tend to just not use either. And I found out a way to really make sure I don't need to use either. So when you're using the Convatec, they have the moldables. They have a stoma adhesive, and they have one that's called Dura adhesive, which I do have somewhere here. But anyways, the Dura adhesive is more for like if you have more of a liquid output, and the stoma adhesive is for more if you have a solid output. They say not necessarily like if you're swimming that you need the more liquid output ring. I kind of just feel like the Dura adhesive, it's only a couple bucks more, and I do feel like it actually is a better adhesion for swimming, and also because unless I'm using the disposable bags, which I sometimes use, I flush my bag with water. So I still like the liquid output, even though I don't have liquid output. I still prefer the Dura adhesive, but with that said, the stoma adhesive does work fine for me. Now, the Dura adhesive and the stoma adhesive, I found out that they have 2 different glues that they use for either or. And one is acrylic and one is hydrocolloid. And the hydrocolloid glue is for sensitive skin. So I would sometimes notice just like a little bit of bumping, like, and I wasn't quite sure why. And I found out it's because of the glue that's used, because the whole hydrochloride, and again, it's not much of a dollar difference to just get the sensitive skin one. So I really like getting the Dura adhesive, like the bit stronger for liquid, so that I can flush my bags with water, I can go swimming, and I like it with the whole hydrocolloid to make sure there's just no sensitivity issues. And another thing is that this Hollister bags that they always use at hospital, they always have the filter. And I asked them, I said, does anybody ever complain that the filters like let off an odor because they just don't actually, like, they're supposed to let off the gas and no smell, but they always seem to break down. And especially if you're going to flush your bag with water, it's going to break down really quick. And they said, oh yeah, they just tell them to use the sticker or tape. But this is like a clothy fabric, and the sticker and the tape never stick properly, and it just doesn't even really work. And why do you even need, like, I personally, like, don't even find that they ever let the air off properly anyway, so I will manually just what, you know, they call burp the bag. And I like it anyway, because I can control that. I can step outside, right? And just like let the air off, right? So I don't like filters. So that's another thing. I buy all my bags now with no filters. I have, unfortunately, backstock, because I had to learn everything the hard way, of a whole bunch of products that aren't less than ideal for me, but I'm trying to like kind of use them up sometimes when I'm at home or I care less or whatever, but definitely love not getting filters. So this would be like the closed bag that is more of a disposable. And what I have found is, like, if I'm using a closed bag, I still like to empty it and then toss it, bag and toss it if I'm disposing of it, like out in public or whatever. Another thing I learned is that when, like, I had a small bowel obstruction, and so I ended up back in hospital, and my gut was so tender, and these stoma adhesive, whatever, they're like, they go right to the skin, like flush with the skin, the stoma dura adhesive. But you can get them both in what Convatec calls an accordion style. So basically it pops off the skin so that you can get your thumb under it and snap it closed, which is all I'd ever used from Hollister. Let me just, like, that's at the hospital. That's all they ever had was these. So you can put your, like this is it, right? You can put your thumb under it and push it closed like this, right? That's like an accordion style, rather than having this like flush to the skin where you just push it down onto your belly. So when my stomach is like fine, I just prefer the low profileness of it on my stomach. This is actually a little bit more low profile than the accordion style that you get from the accordion style you get from Convatec. Gives you a bit more space than that. But so these are my these are them. You can see, I don't know if you can see there's the accordion style. And you can get these in stoma adhesive. You can get them in dura adhesive. Stoma, dura adhesive. And you can get them with the acrylic glue or the hydrocolloid glue. And you can get the bags with filters or no filters. And so, yeah, so that's kind of what I found out is when I have a tender stomach, I like the accordion style. I never like filters on my bag. I like to keep some disposables, and I like to keep some bags with the open ends to flush. And yeah, and I think that Convatec, they're actually the only product I've found that offers this moldable technology. And I just absolutely love them. Now, you can also, I kind of hesitate to even sometimes say these things because it's all the best information, but you can get third party, like, you don't have to go through a pharmacy. You can go direct, like wholesalers, and then you save money too. So in Canada, I'm using something called payless.ca, paylessmedical.ca, and I cut out a middleman. So those are kind of all my tricks and why I love Convatec, and I think it's underrated and they don't get enough PR, really. I think their products are awesome. And one more thing to know is that I didn't bring one over, but you can get I guess it's called like a passion pouch. I've heard it called that, or a cap, but it's just a really small. So when you're for intimate, or if you just know, like, if you have really steady bowels, like it's just like morning or night, you know, you don't have anything, like you're gonna go swimming and you just want something super small. So I get those too. And I'm trying to think if there's any other thing to say about, oh, I will say that when you use the accordion, they have to size it up one size to make room for the extra, like, finger space. So the bags are not, like, yeah, I have to keep like the products separate because the bags, the openings are one size larger for the accordion. So I've now boxed up my accordion because my stomach seemed pretty steady again. So I'm back to just flush the skin. But one more difference I wanted to show you is this is the end, or I think they call them lock and roll or roll and lock or something with Hollister. They're called Invisiclos with the Convatec. But if you can see, this hard part goes to here and then there's like this lip. And when you roll the Hollister ones, this lip gets folded. So then when you go to open it, this will always be like kind of creased and you kind of have to pick it. And that's not the case with the Convatec ones. It actually takes you right to the edge. So there's never this like sticky lip part. I really don't like the roll and lock or whatever they call it, these ones, as much by Hollister. The Convatec are superior in my opinion. So yeah, that's just one more thing. And just to let you know, this is what I do with all of them. I fold them against the grain. So that at least gets me a little bit easier to pop them open like that. If you want like product numbers, you can just call Convatec and get product numbers, or you can comment under my video and I'm happy to give you all the product numbers, but I'm not going to bog down the video with all the numbers. So